Hello, you beautiful individuals. Happy, Merry Christmas Eve, whatever. Happy holidays, all that good stuff. And yeah, we're back. I know, I had a little accident and some things. Yeah, no need to get into detail, just hit my head and had some complications. But we're all good now, except for now I'm more of an idiot than I already was, so that kind of sucks. But hey, what are you going to do? So today, we're going to look at Mr. Kyle again. Apparently, he exposed Sir Sick again. And the last one was unbelievably ignorant. I mean, he even titled it right here on this chapter, Ignorant. So I imagine this one's going to be just as bad. So that should be fun. So yeah, we probably won't make it through the whole thing. I might skip around a bit. I don't know. I haven't really fully decided that yet. But yeah, let's jump on in.
I exposed Sick once, and I'm gonna have to do it again. He made a video called Creation is Dumbass. Even though he says he's dumb, he's not smart, he uses self-deprecating humor. He literally hides behind a cartoon crusader and just makes ad hominem attacks. That's like 90% of his video. Then
Okay, it's not that he's scared necessarily to show his face. Like, that's a dumb thing to say. You don't need to show your face. There's plenty of YouTubers that don't. I mean, heck, one of my favorites, Let's Game It Out, he's never shown his face and has 5 million subs. I mean, showing your face isn't being afraid. It's about security, and not everyone wants to show their face to put that out there. I rarely do. I mean, I will in debates, of course, and I just don't have a decent webcam. But even if I did, I probably would not do this kind of format with, showing my face. I mean, right away, that's an ad hominem attack that he's saying Sir Sick does, but whatever. And back to the whole him saying he's stupid thing. That's kind of his shtick. That's part of the thing. It's part of what makes him funny. I know humor is something that's obviously lost on you, as is common sense and knowledge, but what are you gonna do?
Reddit level arguments and jokes. It's so bad. And if I'm dumb and you're scared to debate me, then what does that say about you? Come on. Now,
dude, it's not about being dumb or being afraid to debate you. He doesn't debate. He said it multiple times throughout multiple videos. That's not his thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. And debates are honestly, like, I enjoy the debates. They are fun, but they're also kind of dumb. They don't do anything. Like, you're never going to change the other person's mind, especially when it comes to topics like these. And what would he debate you on? You don't know anything. You're an idiot. You can't even comprehend the very basics of science. Anyway, let's keep going.
Now, I made some videos in the past talking about philosophical critiques of Darwinism, but all that philosophy, that you would learn in the most basic philosophy of science class, just completely go over his head. Now, in this video, all of the jokes just completely go over his head. He totally misses a point and he cuts it up because he's a coward. And it seems that my videos really trigger him for some reason. I'm not trying to trigger him. I'm just trying to make him think for himself, which is...
Bro, your video, he's responded to what, 2 of your videos, I think? And regardless, it's part of his shtick. It's what he does.
Which his audience doesn't know how to do. And his audience should know that Sir Sick is willfully ignorant of philosophy.
Philosophy? Well, I think we all know how I feel about philosophy. Makes me mad. Philosophy, eh? I can dig it. I mean, it's all 99.9% staring wistfully into the air occasionally saying, why? And then going back to not having a real job. Not ready for the sheer debunkertude that was about to happen to me. So, let's prepare our many butts for his response.
Okay, wow, this is stupid. We're going to skip ahead a little bit. But anyway, the philosophy thing, yeah, because philosophy, honestly, I do find it interesting in a way, but it's kind of bullshit, especially when you're trying to use it to, go against science or even to try to, prove your religion right. But anyway, let's skip ahead a bit. Where should we go to? Me explaining jokes. That sounds horrid.
sick. And I actually found this scientific study is the more atheist you are, the more cringe and less funny you become. That's just the science. That's what the study says.
One of these, I'm sure Sir Sick has one of these. It looks so...
Okay, this is stupid. We're going to go past the explaining jokes and go to the slow boy chapter.
These are the apes. That's a fact. You can pretend it isn't all day, but that's not changing anything. You're an ape. Get over it. And no, that's not the same thing as being a monkey. Perhaps if you actually knew anything about the topics you choose to address, you would know that and wouldn't sound like such a...
Imagine taking a joke seriously and then calling the person who made the joke a dumbass. Well, who is that really more reflective on? The person who doesn't understand what a joke is, or the person making the joke? Come on, dude.
Like, why are we concerned with like an old man in the sky, like a flying spaghetti monster, and starting religious wars over it? We could just play video games all day, or like collect icons. Like, we could collect Funko Pops.
Or you could worship a most likely non-existent deity and spend your time listening to the same stories once, sometimes more times a week, just to give them money so you can keep going back and listening to the same stories. But yeah, no, I mean, what he does, that's way dumber. What, like, man, you understand that Sir Sick makes jokes too, right? Like, most of what he says, he's not being serious about. It's kind of his thing. Maybe if you weren't such a moron, you would be able to pick that up.
What the f*** has that got to do with anything? Oh, right, of course. You're poisoning the well, because, like all your ideas, you don't actually know how to argue a point without first lying about it and then making shit up about the people who...
The joke. Do I need to make an entire video for Sir Sick and his fans explaining what a joke is?
No. It's the point that the joke you made was to poison the well. Was to make it... Like, I understand you were making a joke, in quotations, but the point is, you did it to make it seem like evolution has this ridiculous idea behind it that it doesn't. So what Sir Sick wasn't wrong, and it wasn't him not taking your joke. It was just him explaining how your joke was ignorant and also not funny. That's all. You're just, once again, too moronic to understand that.
That you over-exaggerate generalizations. I mean, it takes a special type of person to not understand this and then to make a video that's going to reach thousands of people showing their like ignorance and lack of self-awareness of seeing that they can't understand what a joke is.
Sick put me up.
I mean, it takes a special type of ignorance to make two videos exposing, in quotations, Sir Sick, when it's really just you whining about the response video he made, which honestly you should probably be happy about. Like, he just gave you free, advertisement, essentially. I don't know what you're complaining about so much, but whatever.
On this awesome diet. I got my subscription to Soylent. I stopped eating meat, just eating...
Dude, I just can't do the whiny thing. Like, it's not funny. Let's do Age of the Earth. That sounds interesting.
A way that makes you almost sound like you're not a total jackass. But that doesn't stop it being dumb, because the principles of the universe remaining relatively constant is not an assumption, it's an observation.
Not a stupid point. If you just studied basic philosophy, if you were a little bit skeptical, but you think philosophy is stupid in philosophy of science, just get the most basic book and you will learn about the problem of induction that Hume brought up. When you just assume things have always operated in the same way, you're assuming a certain
Yes, of course. You can assume that things didn't always operate that way. But the problem is, it goes against the laws of physics and all the other sciences that we have today. And it's not like we just assume it. There's evidence to show that that's how it came to be. And there's evidence to show that that's how long it would take. Like the speed of light thing, which is... I mean, this is about the age of the Earth, apparently. It's an immediate destruction of the age of the Earth. You have light that's... And anyway, sorry. There's light that is... I mean, I'm trying to just think of like, there's stars and galaxies, light, that is farther than... I don't know how old this guy thinks the Earth is, but the common age I hear is 6,000 to 10,000 years old. that's significantly farther than that away. That it would be able to travel in that time. And that alone, I mean, you could assume the speed of light is faster, but the problem is when it does that, it redshifts. That's why we see it redshift with the expansion of the universe, because it's expanding faster than the speed of light. And we would see that, and it would be redshifted into oblivion. We wouldn't be able to see the light because it would move too fast. I'm not good at explaining this, but neither is this moron.
Uniformity of nature, and all I'm doing, what he's about to show, is me just questioning that presupposition. But he thinks it's stupid because he is willfully ignorant.
Observation.
It's never stupid to question something, but you're not questioning it. You're using it to try to push your ridiculous narrative. And the problem is, it's not like it's just one thing that goes against your narrative. You have dang near every field of science that has their own way of proving that you're wrong.
Based on the fact that it has literally never changed in those thousands of years. And there's no evidence that it ever has changed. And that's the thing. It's about evidence, not just unbacked assertion. You just saying, well, it might have done.
The point just totally goes over his head. If you're going to observe a principle behaving in a certain way and extrapolate...
Hold on, let me look at that thing again. Okay, so really this is just a list of nonsense. But then I love this bottom part. More than 90% of these processes give an age less than billions of years. Okay, so then how old though? Because unless it's 6 to 10,000 or whatever your nonsense answer is, you're beyond wrong. And no, just no to 99.9% of this.
Evidence, not just unbacked assertion. You just saying, well, it might have done.
The point just totally goes over his head. If you're going to observe a principle behaving in a certain way and extrapolate and say it's been exactly the same for thousands, millions, billions of years, that's an assumption. Or maybe you assume it's changed. That's an assumption. You need to justify that assumption. Or you can say, I don't know.
They do, though, is the thing. They justify the assumption with evidence. And then people like you say, that's either not enough evidence, it's not good enough evidence, or I don't understand it, so I don't believe it, which is the most common answer, but they won't actually give that answer.
All I'm doing is questioning his presupposition. And the thing is that we do have evidence that it has changed. Because if we assume that the moon has behaved in exactly the same way, well, then it should have destroyed the Earth.
Close to the Earth, it would...
No, oh my God, I hate this argument.
destroy the Earth twice a day. I think once would be enough, right? And you go back around 1 billion years ago, the moon would run into the Earth. But a few thousand years would be no problem whatsoever.
The magnetic field around...
No. And once again, if you've seen, that was from the Ark Encounter. What a shock. If you go and look up reputable sources on this little moon regression nonsense, I assure you, I don't know what they do to come up with their data. With these Answers in Genesis people, the Ark Encounter people like this dude, the cherry picking is unbelievable. And then the misrepresentation of it, I mean, it's just pathetic. A lot of times they'll use sources or, papers decades and even centuries ago to try to make a question about something. It's like science progresses. It just does. We find out certain things we thought were wrong and find out that now this answer's right, maybe not completely right. The best way I like to put it is there's a big difference between being 100% wrong and just being, a few percent or 10% wrong. Huge difference.
On the Earth.
We've measured this consistently for the past 150 years all over the globe. One of the best dating methods you could possibly use. It's decreased by 10% over the past 150 years. Now, if it's decreasing in strength, that means in the past it used to be stronger. Now, if you do the calculations, apply this and go backwards in time, roughly 7,000 years ago, it would be roughly 32 times stronger than it is today, which will be most likely good for us for a whole bunch of reasons. But keep going back in time, do the exponential increase, and 1 million years ago, the magnetic field would be so strong, it would vaporize the Earth.
No, it wouldn't. Do you not comprehend how weak the magnetic field is as just a magnet? Like its actual magnetic power? Because it's pretty pathetic. But regardless, What about, the whole, like, polar switches and stuff? I mean, doesn't that come into play? I mean, why are you assuming the strength just kept going up? Like, that's even worse of an assumption than, never mind. Let's try to make it through this stupid video.
Comments.
A big muddy snowball.
Oh my gosh, I can't with these Ark Encounter people. Only looking for clips. Macro evolution. Leave me alone. Oh, let's end with this. Is this an ad? That was an ad. But anyway.
Drama bait. This was almost certainly you trying to kick a hornet's nest in the hope that I would send people your way.
Made your video on me first. If anything, you were kicking the hornet's nest. All I did was respond and expose you and your bad arguments, and then you made a response video to my response video. And so now I had to make this video, and this video was painful to make because the jokes, they just go over your head.
It was even more painful to watch. And no, it's just, I wouldn't say the jokes go over his head. I would say they fall flat and go under his shoes. Because they're so stupid.
Philosophy, it just goes over your head. And then it's so annoying because for some reason you have such a big following that so many people come and comment on my videos. And I'm like, why am I getting all these stupid comments?
Why would you complain about that? That's just going to get your, whatever, the comments stuff. It's going to get your, what's that called? I can't think of the word right now. It's not a bad thing. Like, I don't get what your deal is. And also, if you wanted him to leave you alone, why did you make this video? You don't want him to leave you alone. You're just lying like you always do, like most of you do. It's like you can't not lie, especially when it comes to science. Dear Lord, then it's just embarrassing.
And I'm like, oh, I look it up, and you made a video on me. So, you made the video on me, and then I'm just responding. I'm defending myself. Am I not allowed to defend myself? I mean, this is
No meaning.
Yes, you are. But guess what? It's the internet. I don't know where you've been, but man, it's pretty brutal out there. It's just how it is. You have to, grow some balls and get over it, buddy.
If what you do has no meaning, what you're saying has no meaning. Lasai, I know you think that's a gotcha, but it ain't. That's just an accurate evaluation of the implication of there being no necessary meaning to the Unibob. What I say has no meaning. What you say has no meaning. Everything is ultimately meaningless in the grand scheme of things.
seriously, if you're watching.
Why do you skip through those so fast?
Say has no meaning. Everything is ultimately meaningless in the grand scheme of things.
Meaningless universe, but trying to debunk false claims. Why? Well, it's what he does. I mean, it's what he likes to make videos on. What's the big deal? And yeah, technically the universe is meaningless. I prefer the word chaotic. But still, it doesn't mean you can't make meaning within your own life and find meaning. I mean, that's up to you.
Seriously, if you're watching this, please do not make a response video. Let's end this. I just want to defend myself when you make a video that reaches so many people about me, calling me a dumbass, when...
Because you are a dumbass.
You don't even know basic philosophy and you're proud of...
Philosophy, what is that? Dude, for one, your education level does not automatically determine your ignorance or intelligence. Especially your philosophy background, that, my friend, I'm sorry, it just doesn't. It is interesting, and they're fun thought experiments, but that's about all they are.
Out of that, and then you send your army of people to come. It's just really annoying. So, please pray for Sir Sick.
He did not send his army of people. They just did, because you're ridiculous. Like, I don't even think he links the videos that or the channels that he, responds to for that reason. Like, you don't know him at all. And I'm not saying you need to, but this whole video, instead of attacking the facts and his actual responses, you just keep attacking his character, but you're really wrong about his character. So it just makes you look even more ignorant and, quite frankly, like a piece of shit.
If you're one of his fans, just know you're being cheated. He openly says philosophy is useless. He just...
Because it kind of is. It's not really useless in a way, but... I mean, and again, I do enjoy philosophy. It's interesting, but it's just not... I wouldn't say useless, but it's definitely not as useful as other things. And I'll just leave it there. I can't even do the last couple minutes. Just, fine. There's only a little bit
Throughout
left.
this video, he just asserts his position. He doesn't understand jokes. He doesn't understand the most basic critiques, and it's just honestly really sad. Hope you liked the video.
Sad like your channel and your existence. Anyway, that was kind of fun. Please like, comment, subscribe, and... Oh, actually, first, before I go, if you're still here, I will start uploading again more regularly after I got over the whole head thing. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and until next time.